morning. It is Saturday, the 3rd of February, and it's the start of my new week. I have just got back from my Weight Watchers meeting. I did gain this week 2.5, but that is still £11 lost so far, and I'm ready to get back on with it and get back in the swing of things. At our meeting this week, we were talking about kind of keeping a record and noticing your progress, which I thought was a really good idea. What I want to do today is take some pictures in my underwear from the front and the side, so that I can compare that sort of in a little while once I've lost a bit of weight, so I can kind of actually see the difference. Because I think a lot of the time where you see yourself every day, you don't always notice your progress where other people will. So yeah, I thought that was a good idea, and I'm going to do that. So yeah, start of the week, and this week I'm going to cook some, it's my version of jerk chicken, which I hope you'll like, and yeah, we'll kind of keep up through the week, and more positive and happy, and this week's going to be awesome, so yeah. So it's Sunday morning now. I'm just about to start working on my jerk chicken. Before I start, I just wanted to do a little disclaimer. I based this recipe on one I found in the Australian Women's Weekly low carb recipe book, and I don't know how authentic their recipe was, so I don't know how authentic my recipe is. So I'm not saying this is a particularly authentic jerk chicken, just in case anyone's like, oh, that's not really jerk chicken. This is like my version of it. So I just wanted to say that before I start, in case anyone is like, that's wrong. Well, it's not wrong, it's right. This is my recipe. That's all. So I'm going to begin. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my seasoning mix. I'm going to put my chicken in that to marinate pretty much all day. I mean, it's like 11 o'clock now, so I'm going to leave it all day, and then I'll cook it later. So the first section of the cooking, I'll just show you what we have ingredient-wise. So I've got ground allspice, ground ginger, ground nutmeg, ground cinnamon, mild chili powder because I don't really like it that hot. I've got some light muscovado sugar. It's supposed to be brown sugar, but I don't have any in my cupboard, so what can you do? I've also got fat-free Greek yogurt, and I've got 2 chicken breasts because this is going to be dinner for 2. So what I've done is I've taken a teaspoon of the allspice and the mild chili powder and half a teaspoon of the nutmeg, ginger and cinnamon, and I've just stuck those in a bowl. I'll mix them all together a bit, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some of my yogurt. So it's probably about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3 of yogurt, and I'm just going to mix. So there it is, all mixed up. And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up my chicken so I can just put it in. So there you go, I've chopped up my chicken and I've stirred that in. What I have just realised is that I forgot to put my brown sugar in, so less points that way, I guess. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cover it. So the way I've covered it is by actually pushing the cling film down so it's touching the chicken. So yeah, there we go. So now I'm just gonna put that in the fridge, and that's it. So my jerk chicken's in the fridge now, and what I will do later is I'll show you how I cook it. I'm also going to serve it with some rice and beans, so I'll do that. So far there's 0 points in that meal, because there's no sugar. And yeah, so I'll do that in a little while. So it is Sunday evening now, and I'm just getting ready to cook my dinner. So I'll show you stage 2. So ingredients, we've obviously got my chicken that's been marinating all day. I've got my microwave rice. You could just cook your own rice, but I'm lazy. So that's going to be 6 points. I've got half a chorizo, which is going to be 2 points per person. Um, I've got mixed beans, I've got my ground allspice, some smoked paprika, some mild chili powder, and some tomato puree. So step one, I'm going to cook my chicken. I've just got a little bit of fry light in the pan, and what I'm doing is just frying this off. I'm basically just kind of moving it around every now and then. If it burns a little bit on the bottom on some of the pieces, that's okay. Yeah, we're just going to cook it for a bit until it looks like it's all cooked through. As you can see, as I'm cooking it, there is quite a lot of liquid in the pan, but that will dry out as I cook it, and at the end we'll just be left with our chicken pieces. So as you can see at this stage, it's all dried out, and the chicken is all cooked through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in some foil to keep warm while I cook the rest. So I've got my chicken bundled up in a little parcel. While it was cooking, I chopped up my chorizo, I drained and rinsed my beans, and I also got out my frozen peppers and onions, which I forgot to mention in the beginning, because I'll be needing those as well. So into my same pan, I've added some onions and peppers, and I'm going to let those kind of defrost in that pan. So here are my peppers and onions. They've picked up a lot of the flavours that were already in the pan from the chicken, and I'm just going to add next my chorizo, there, and I'm going to stir that through and let it get some more flavour in there. So next I'm adding my beans. I'm just going to stir those. So next I put my rice in the microwave to cook for 2 minutes, and I'm just added half a teaspoon of my 3 spices, and I'm stirring those through as well. I'm just going to cook for a little bit longer, and then I think I'm going to add my tomato. So that's been about a minute. I'm just going to add I guess a tablespoon of tomato puree, and I'm going to stir that through. Next I'm adding my rice, and I'm going to stir that through as well. And lastly I'm adding my chicken, and I'm going to stir it up. So that's it done. I'm just going to plate up, and that's my dinner. So the rice was 6, the chorizo was 2. The chorizo would be optional, so if you wanted less points you could leave that out, but 8 points total for a dinner I don't think is too bad. So yeah, I hope you like that, and I'll catch up with you later in the week. Hey, so it's Tuesday evening now. Today's been good. I feel like I've got back on track and I've followed the plan today. Prior to today though, hasn't been as good. I think I've identified what the issue is that I haven't been as organised, which I wasn't last week either. I feel like that's what kind of falls by the wayside when I'm, not concentrating or thinking enough, is that I don't plan things out, and then because I haven't got a plan in place, then everything just falls to pot, really. So I haven't done my notice board this week to have my dinner ideas, and that's meant that, I haven't had things prepared. So today I'm going to rectify that so that my dinners for the rest of the week are done. Obviously I've done 3 days of iffy kind of eating, but I'm hoping that by doing today and the next 3 days, so 4 days of healthy eating, that I can kind of even it out, or maybe even lose a little bit this week, but who knows. But I mean, if I can get back on track, then I think that's going to be the main thing. So yeah, that's the plan, and I'm feeling like it's going to work, and I will let you know later on how that's going. So it's Friday evening now. Just got back from going out for sort of dinner and drinks with Rich's work friends, so it's quite late. So yeah, just sort of thinking about next week. After tomorrow's Way Day, I've only got one more left before we go away to Disneyland Paris, and so this week is kind of the week. I'm not sure how well this week's gone, but I'll sort of have a chat with you about that tomorrow. but I feel like, you know, the organisation is key. I already sort of established this, so yeah, I'm gonna get organised tomorrow. You know, have a good week next week, and then, you know, hopefully lose a little bit before I go to Disney and kind of gain it all back on again. Um, so yeah, it's all good. This evening, I've been pretty good because I don't really drink, so you know, it was just food. So, but yeah, so just thought I'd check in, and I will catch up with you guys in the morning on my way to the Weight Watchers. Whoop whoop. Good morning. So it is Saturday morning. I'm just outside my Weight Watchers meeting. Feeling happy and positive this morning. I don't think I've done particularly well this week again, but I am ready to put that behind me and, you know, really crack on with it this week. As I said yesterday, I've only got a week to go until I go on my holiday, so this week is going to be it. So plan to really get organised and just get to it. So yeah, I'm just going to go away, and then I'll see you at home and I'll tell you how I did. So I am back from weigh-in, I'm home. I gained 2 this week, so it is what it is. But yeah, this is kind of crunch time. So I'm gonna take some time to make a plan today, to make sure that, you know, everything is ready, and I'm gonna smash it this week. It's gonna be like amazing. So what we've learnt is that I can't wing it, and I need to, you know, take control. So yeah, it's all a learning curve. So this week, I'm not going to do a happy dance. What I am going to do is a determination dance. So yeah, determination this week. That's where we're at. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe. If you have any ideas for different recipes you'd like to see me try, then please leave me comments. And I will see you next week. We can continue our journey together. So